Crafted from the fires of dragons, chilled on the highest peaks of Everest, the Canagard is designed for perfection, using only the freshest herbs our planet has to offer, cultivated by years of experience. El Toro Verde, crisp, rich draw, slow resin burn. Be bold, be elegant, be the bull. El Toro Verde, you should be smoking.
What is going on, world? You are now tuned to the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series, and I'm your host, Nappy 2000. Let me put the sponsors up on the screen so you can see them real quick. Let's give a shout out to Bust Down Worldwide, Shrubs, El Toro Verde, Plain Jane, Happy Trees Vacay, Gas TV Sweets, Turtle Pie Co., and Green Dog Cultivators. And you can find these episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And I appreciate every single sponsor for helping me out and providing me different things to make this show keep going. I truly, truly appreciate that. But today, I have a very, very, very special guest in the building. The portal is open today. We got an LA native who has been creating a beautiful path for himself throughout this entire process. And today we have him for his first interview in a few years. And we are very, very thankful to have him on the show. We got OSBE Chill in the building.
Man, appreciate y'all, man, for having me. For real. Pleasure to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So 3 years of no interviews. And now today is the day.
Yeah.
I like that. Bong Talk is the perfect show for that.
Yes,
Definitely. So talk about, bro, for the people who may not know you, talk about growing up in the LA area and what it's provided for you and ultimately what it's taught you into the man that you became today.
Yeah, well, I grew up in Los Angeles, California, you feel me, the jungles, to be exact, Baldwin Village, is the correct term for the area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the political term, I should say.
Political term, yeah.
But, I got family in Long Beach, too, so, my mom kind of had me going to school out there, even though I lived in the jungles. Then eventually I ended up back in the jungles with Pops, going to Dorsey High School, all of that stuff, you feel me? And that's where I started, figuring out that I could rap, You
wasn't, playing no sports prior to that?
Nah, bro. My whole school career, I was in a band. I was in band, so I was playing orchestra music, and then I eventually created my own jazz band because we didn't have a jazz class,
Cool.
And
what was it called?
We didn't even have a name,
Yeah,
bro.
It was just a group of homies.
It was just jazz band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't even give us a class or nothing, bro. So we
Okay.
would use lunchtime and perform in the cafeteria. You feel me?
Okay.
And spend all the time after school practicing and stuff, staying there after school for hours and stuff. You feel me? And, I really dug into the whole, I played the trumpet. So I was
cool.
I dug into the stories of Miles Davis, Lee Morgan, Herbie Hancock, John Coltrane, all the greats, you feel me? And I was intrigued, bro. From there, I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So ended up playing for the mayor out there on some fucking, I don't know what it was, bro.
Some type of event for
it was a city council meeting or something. You feel me? I know they played it on TV in the little Long Beach television station.
Yeah.
For a whole week. So that was my first claim to
Yes,
fame.
sir.
I'm ooh, I'm on now. You feel me? Off a jazz band that I created
off the
that.
trumpet. Yeah.
That she just came down there and heard. And then invited us to play, at a segment we had at school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, after that, that's what led me into the whole music shit. Once I, got back to Dorsey, it was a different atmosphere for me, I already knew about it, but just going to school and being around there all the time from just, going back and forth and not really having time to be outside over there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was it was different, bro. Culture difference. You know what I'm saying? I was around more diverse people at Poly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
black, white, Asian.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Long Beach has diversity.
Yeah,
Definitely, they do.
Polynesians, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
everything, you know, it's different. I know about the culture and the gang culture, of course, and all of that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time, it was like, I didn't really care about that stuff at the time, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, Dorsey got me back rapping, like, you know, like, the homie told me I could rap one day, and I just was like, fuck it, I'm
Well,
finna
you
start
just in
doing
a
this.
cipher one time and
Nah, I
you
just
popped off?
Well,
or
I
like, what?
already was making music.
Yeah.
I was like, I had my own little studio set up. My dad bought me and all of that because
Uh-huh.
he did music and he seen that I like music, so he bought me
Yeah.
a little studio set up. So I started rapping too, and like you know, I told the homie when I didn't tell nobody I did it though.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me? And then one day I told my homie who was like my best friend. You feel me? Like,
Like, yo, I just made a song, bro.
nah, I ain't even. I
You
just
tell
was like. I just was like, yeah, you know, I be rapping and shit. Like, you feel me? He started laughing, like, you don't be rapping. Like, he's like, spit some shit, nigga. Like, we walking to school one morning. And I remember this shit vividly. Like, we walking to school one morning. I'm just rapping as we walking, you feel me? And then when I was done, he was just looking at me crazy. He was like, bro, you hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, he like, what are you doing? He was like, go rap that shit at school today. Like, you feel me? Because we always had ciphers. You know, it was ciphers
Yeah,
at
to
school.
let you
people
know where
rapping
you
and
at.
fucking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I rapped at school, and the whole school going crazy. People running everywhere and shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, I could really do this shit. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
something
So,
to this shit. Yeah.
yeah. So from there, I started taking it more serious. I had the music. I was in a music program at Dorsey as well, but the year I checked in was the last year that that they had it. I don't know, budget cuts or some shit like
so
that.
that was like the last time they had any type of music.
Any type of music program,
you was there at
period.
the
Like,
perfect time.
yeah, I came at the perfect
Yeah.
time. And the studio, it was a studio built at the school that nobody even knew about. Like, a whole recording studio, bro. Kanye West, ironically, it was through his foundation, the Kanye
Right.
West Foundation.
Yeah.
And
Your guy.
yeah, you feel me? The dude
yeah.
I, you know,
Yeah.
look at, you know, with this hip hop shit, you know what I'm saying?
And you got a song with bro.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
On the real, yeah. But yeah, that's a funny story about that too. But that song wasn't supposed to be out, by the way. Like, I did not release that song. You feel me?
Who
But
leaked it? Or was it leaked?
I have no clue. It was leaked for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how it got out, but it's out. You feel
Hey,
me?
it's out now.
Yeah,
Hey, the world knows.
yeah. So yeah, bro. The studio through the Kanye West Foundation. I ended up, you know, fucking with Reasons there.
Okay.
You know, I went to school with Mustard too. He was at Dorsey at the same time. He used to come fuck with me every now and then. He knew about the shit, like, cause I was in the programs, like, so he was like, you know, he was amazed.
Real
like, this
music
shit
heads
here,
knew that
like,
the studio was there for real.
yeah, like, you feel me, like people that was in that world and shit, you know. But nobody had the class though. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you know, but it was like a bunch of nerds per se. You know, I was considered like that too, like you know, cause I play instruments. Nobody played instruments, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
at the
already
school,
know.
I'm the only one walking around with a trumpet case. Like,
Yeah,
you
they're
know what
like-
I'm saying?
they're
Niggas-
like, nigga, bro, like,
yeah,
what
they
you-
clowning me like,
Yeah,
what's
like,
up with bro?
what's in
Like,
your hand?
so the rapping, I got into the rapping more to try to, like, you know, I guess say fit in, you know what I mean, like, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But I always stuck with the jazz and the trumpet and stuff. And then, you know, you even in my rap music, you could hear
You could
the
hear
influence of
you
the
could hear
soul and jazz and all of that, you know. So yeah.
You can definitely hear it. Because I was going to say, your sound isn't your quote-unquote West Coast sound. It's not that at all. Like, you have, obviously, those songs, but you definitely stays true to, like you're saying, your musician side, and you bar out.
Yeah.
You bar out. You definitely tell a story. You could tell that you may have tried to fit in at one point, but now, bro, you're just definitely just in your lane doing what you got to do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, bro. Like, I just be trying to like I'll be telling my girl, like I just be trying to like chase my full potential, like and just embrace like who I am, like, you know, like even like my beard growing out and shit. I used to always be self-conscious because my shit don't connect. You feel me? But I don't know.
It's
I
all
just been
good,
on
bro.
this. I just
That's
been on
you.
this mission
That's
of
your
just
beard.
doing shit, like, you feel me, like all the shit that I used to be self-conscious about and all the type of little, you know. I just hone in on that shit now, like, you feel me, and just, you know, embrace who I am, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you have a very relentless energy when it comes
I'm told.
to you have a very relentless energy, especially like just reading just listening to Ego Trip, like going through that process. Like what was your ego telling you during like that process? Like what was your spirit trying to tap into you during like that thing? Because I could tell there was moments to where maybe you were like some melancholy moments, maybe some like sad moments, but you were also not going to give up regardless of what was in front of
What
you.
was going on? Yeah.
So talk about that.
Well, my ego was telling me basically like what stood out to me the most was I don't know everything. You know, a wise man knows nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Like a wise man knows he knows nothing at all. You know, that phrase just kept like ringing in my head. You know what I mean? And I was going through a lot of shit, you know, relationship wise, and there's a lot of character building that I had to do, you know, that I didn't necessarily see. Like hold on, like I am kind of doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just more like personal shit for me, like, you know, just like being, like I said, being the best me, like, you know, like to the highest point that I could be, like, you know, that's what Ego Trip was. It was like basically killing the ego. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a process.
Yeah, that's hard to do. You know,
growing pains during that. You're like, you look yourself in the mirror like, damn, like you said, like I do that shit. Like what the fuck? But like. So what would you cut? Like, were you cutting out some things? Were you cutting out like some alcohol? Were you
yeah. I stopped drinking for like 2 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was the main thing. You know, it was just the drinking, and then I just started going heavy into working out and all of that, and just doing, you know, self work, bro, character building. I took some therapy and shit. That, you know, people don't know about that, but.
Talk about your therapy trip, bro.
It was dope, like too.
I think all black people, we need therapy.
Well, it happened, bro, because I would have never took that shit if I didn't have to, bro. I had some old ass warrant from like 10 years ago that I never went, and I've been ducking, dodging the police for 10 years, bro, with this warrant over my head.
Yeah.
And one day I just was like, fuck it, and went to the courthouse. This is probably like 3 years ago, you feel me? I'm like, well, first I got a lawyer, and then I went to the courthouse. You feel me? Like I lawyered up first, then went over there, bro. I ain't got into nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I ended up getting that cleared up, and they told me I had to do the therapy shit. You feel me? So I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to do it. I'm like, this some course shit, you know what I'm saying? But it ended up being this black lady, bro, like, and she, her therapy shit was way different. Like, she kind of tapped into, like, the...
You had a black therapist.
Yeah,
that's
you feel
different.
me?
Yeah, that's good.
It was a lady, too, at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, it was, like, talking to moms, low-key, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she understood the oppression side of our people and how that affects who we are today, like, you feel me, and growing up in these communities, you know, that we grow up in, and the things that we think is right, but not necessarily are right, but we grow accustomed to thinking that that's what it is, and then when we enter the real world, if we make it out that matrix, you gotta teach yourself everything, you feel me, because it's like, nah, that was just the world you was living in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
Once you unplug,
bro, like, bro, and then, you know, my girl helped a lot with that, because, you know, she grew up in Hawaii. She from Hawaii.
Okay, cool.
So I end up out there in Hawaii and shit, like, and was able
totally
to just
different.
Bro, like, they don't care about the clothes, they don't care about the, you know what I'm saying? And the aloha is real, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody nice for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Speaking to each other, you know, out here, you know, we look at each other like, you feel me?
Well, we can't even go in certain areas.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. So out there, it was just like another culture shit for me. Like, okay, like, it's not like that everywhere. Just in that 10-mile radius that I grew up in. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got to get out of that. So
it's crazy to think, like, when you say, usually when these things happen, it's usually just sometimes a block over, bro, or it's just like that world you live in that. Like 3 to 5 mile, 7 mile radius, 10-mile radius. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, but I kind of never let that limit me. Like, I used to always be in places that I wasn't supposed to be in.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, I just was, that's why I just felt like I'm more aware now.
Yeah.
Cause then I just didn't really care. But like I always felt like I like got a bigger purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause
Yeah,
it was like
sure.
some shit it wasn't supposed to happen. Like, bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I don't know how I got here. You know
But
what I
you
mean?
here though.
Yeah.
You here. And one thing I heard you talk about too is like, bro, you say you're a father first. You know what I mean? Like,
Not for sure.
so like you say you made it through all that, and now you have this family that you have to show for all this hard work that you've been putting in. So talk about, bro, just being a father first and just doing that now, or just
Even that's
Yeah.
a whole nother world within itself. You
Yeah.
feel me? Cause I'm still learning with that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I know, like, you know, I feel like the best way to be a father is to lead by example. You feel me?
Mhm.
I used to hate when my parents be trying to tell me to stop doing something that I see them doing. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big reason why I didn't want to you know, be drinking alcohol and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, just having the bottle around in the house, and then, you know, I used to peep my son looking at the bottle like, what's that? Like, you feel me?
Hell no.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was things like that I was like, nah, I'm finna eliminate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't want them growing up, you know, like, oh, yeah, I used to always see that bottle. You know what I mean? Like,
why can't I have one? Type
yeah,
shit.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah, just so they really teaching me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they really teaching me. I'm an observer, bro. I learn by observing
Yeah.
and then trying to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm more just like, instead of trying to, like, of course I'm here to guide them and stuff. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm more
Yeah.
like embracing them being themselves, and, you know, the goofy side, the everything. Like,
Actually
you know
let
what
them
I'm
be
saying?
a kid.
Exactly. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, and just, like, you know, nurture that, bro. Like, you know, as much as I can.
Would you say that's kind of healing your inner child a little bit, or like in a way?
Yeah,
Seeing
nah,
doing that?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. You know, but I was, you know, my parents was good parents too.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I just was a rebellious kid. You know, like, trying to find itself,
Yeah.
confused about a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but for the most part, like, my parents was like good parents. You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely you were gonna be a good father regardless of
Yeah,
what
cause
it
I had
was.
an example.
Yeah, you had an
You know,
example. Mhm.
yeah, on the real.
No, that's good.
Cause when I ventured off, you know, when I look back at what to do, at like what's right to do, you feel me? I look at my father, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like, this what he was talking about then, like, you feel me? So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know already, cause he didn't nailed it into my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I know, like, I had good parents. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, like when you hear something that they said then, and then you're living it now. And you're like, what the like? So this is what y'all was trying to say then, and I wasn't trying to listen to y'all.
Yeah.
It's all good. We here now. We're evolving. We're
Nah, for
evolving,
sure.
humans, bro, and you're doing good, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been talking about life this whole time, but music though.
Yeah.
Yes, the music, the music,
music,
the
bro.
music. Like I was saying, I was listening to your album before you came in here. Great project.
Appreciate
Great
it.
project from top to bottom, top to bottom. So you're going through this ego trip. You're going through that process. You're going through that journey now. But now you have the OSBE Show coming out.
Yeah.
So talk about linking up, bro, with Mike and Keys, and now putting your story on their music.
Man, that's like honestly, it's like a dream come true for me, bro, because I've been wanting to work with Mike and Keys for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how I even, like, ended up getting to work with them.
How'd that happen?
Like, so I did these freestyles to their beats.
Yeah.
That they had, like, a instrumental tape on YouTube. But, like, a year before that, I had DM'd them.
Okay.
You feel me? And I'm like, yo, like, we gotta work. You know, they just hit me back with the agreed. You feel me? And I'm like, dang, like, what do I do after that?
yeah. Like, okay. They said something.
They said something, though. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I had already rapped to one of their beats, and I was gonna put it out after the DM, but then I felt like that song wasn't good enough. You feel me? Like, nah, I need to make an impression. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up, like, a year later, literally a year later, ended up coming across the track again, and I was like, nah, I'm about to redo this. You feel me?
Yeah.
Redid it, put it out right after I did it, like the same night. You know what I'm saying? Actually, same day, because I did it in the morning. I woke up that morning, did it, and then I put it out, put it on the gram, tagged them and all of that. You feel me? Like,
no games.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They ended up like fucking with it, tapping in, and you know, I double back did like 2 more just to, you know, make sure we locked in. You know what I'm saying? And then they ended up reaching out and telling me to pull up, and then we ended up making like a couple records that first day. And then Mike, he like, bro, like, you know, we need to do a project, like, you feel me? Like, give me like 2 weeks. That's what he told me. Give me like 2 weeks, you feel me? I'm like, all right, bet. So I was pulling up every day, and then, you know, now I've been pulling up ever since, bro. Like, I'm still locked in, you feel me? I was just with them yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, they like family now. You know, it's like I've been knowing them for a long time already. You know what I mean?
No, that's crazy.
So yeah, now the OSBE Show dropping. You feel me? Mike and Keys EP.
From working with them and seeing like their work ethic and how they do things, what have you learned from that?
Like I said, I'm an observer. You feel me?
Exactly.
So, like, I make beats and stuff too. So I'm learning all the little, you know, things that they doing. You feel me? To
some plugins,
bro, all the little things that I need. You feel me? I'm taking all of that and, you know, using it and applying it to what I do as well. You feel me? So yeah, not only is it a blessing to be able to work with them, but it's a huge blessing to me. It's more for me, not even the music being put out. You feel me? It's more the learning this shit from them. You know what I'm saying? That I'm more excited about. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm like leveling up my knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah, to a point to where you can then engineer when you want to do your own shit.
Yeah.
And then your beats will be immaculate.
Exactly. You feel me? So yeah, bro. Learning, man. Just learning.
Nah, I like that. And too, like you've linked up with a lot of different artists around as well.
For sure.
I remember a while ago, not even a while ago, maybe like a year or so ago, I seen Dope Networks post you with Benny the Butcher.
Oh yeah, Benny, that's the homie.
Yeah, when you was doing music with them. Are you still locked in with them? Are you still signed to BSF and all that? Or?
Nah, I'm not. I'm not signed.
Not signed to them.
Yeah, you feel me? It was just more like an endorsement type of thing. You know what I mean? Like
that was just like
yeah, you feel me? But they family though. You know what I'm saying? Me and El Camino got a whole tape out.
El
you know
Camino
what I'm saying? So like yeah, I'm like an honorary member. You feel me?
Yeah. Are you the first West Coast member?
That's a fact.
On that BSF?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it.
I was like, you're the first one.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad somebody said it, man. Like, and acknowledge that I am, though.
Yeah, that's history because they all from. Are they all? Well, they're not
Buffalo.
All from, they're all from Buffalo.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, majority of them.
All New York.
Buffalo and New York. Yeah.
Oh yeah. First West Coast. Hey, legendary.
Except my guy Bodie, he from Detroit.
Yeah.
But that's Griselda.
Still East Coast.
Yeah.
Still East Coast.
Yeah.
Talk about being the only West Coast honorary member.
That's
Amongst
kind of funny too, because it's like when I heard, you know, West Side Gun and all of them, I kind of was like already on this side doing, you know, the hip hop and all of that. You know what I mean? That type of boom bap. Yeah, you know. So when I heard that shit, I was like, and it was at a time too, bro, where music was like weird, and I'm like, I felt like I ain't had no chance in this shit no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like nobody want to hear this rap shit. Niggas like, why you rapping? You feel me? Like, I'm like, damn. And then when I heard them, I'm like, okay, it's go time. I'm like, I told my girl, I'm like, watch, mark my words, I'm finna be working with them. Like, you feel me?
Yep.
Like a year later, I was locked in with Benny.
When it's God's plan, bro. It's
yeah,
God's
and
plan.
that happened through me working with El Camino. You feel me? Me and this other guy, Six Shots, linked up in Miami. He wanted to get, you know, he like, bro, I could get you to work with Benny and whoop, like, you feel me? I'm like, all right, bet. So we ended up, you know, getting the Benny play ended up happening like because of the El Camino tape. You feel me? And I didn't even know until El Camino told me, but they ended up doing one of the features at the same time. So the Benny feature I ended up having, they was in the studio and they was like, damn, this sound like the same dude. You feel me? Like,
Put two
so
and two
I was
together.
like, I was,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
feel me, sending shit around, like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we ended up locking that in, man. Like, so shout out to them, man, BSF.
Yeah, I was about to say one thing about them. They reignited a lot of people's hope.
No,
in
for
this
sure.
rap shit. Because
For
like
sure.
you said, music was in a weird place to where it was kind of like, are people gonna listen to this shit? But authentic music like that, I think, is always going to stand out, and it's always going to have a place in music, especially when you have people like that who push the issue so hard and represent it so tough like that.
No, that's a fact.
And you definitely do that, because like I said, like you said, like people be like, why are you rapping? Like, what do you mean? Why am I rapping? It's like, this is what I do.
It was just my style of rapping though, like the beats and the samples and all that. It was like people didn't understand it out here. You know what I mean?
Why do you think that is? I know, like, we have our ideas. I'm from West Coast too. Like, I love that music. But why do you think, from your point of view, why do you think that is? Why the understanding of it?
I mean, because people like to dance out here. They want something that they could dance to and turn up to. You know what
Smoke
I'm saying?
to.
Yeah, yeah, like that type of vibe. And I'm OSBE Chill. I'd rather just chill, you feel me? I go to the kickbacks. I used to go to kickbacks rather than the parties and stuff.
Exactly.
I never really liked to dance and all that. You know what I mean? So that comes out in the music, I guess. You know what I mean? And this is the land of the turn up.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's funny because I got cousins in like Brooklyn, Flatbush, and all that, and they'll be like, "Yeah, bro." They're like, "I can't." I can't drive around New York listening to DJ Quick. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it was funny, like, how you said, like, their point of view. Because I heard the same thing out there. They're like, I'm not about to listen to, like, some boom bap while I'm on the beach or something like that. So, like you said, I think it just depends sometimes on, like, people's areas or perspectives. But music is music, and you can listen to it where you want to listen to it.
Yeah, that's how I feel,
It don't matter.
I just like making good music, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I might do some West Coast shit too, I'm from the West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What it is.
Yeah, but my whole thing is just like I said, I got the jazz background and I'm more into like, I don't know. Like I just hear it different, I guess.
I mean, bro, you got the soul of Miles Davis with you, man.
Maybe.
Miles Davis make you want to make some music. That's why he made that jazz band, bro.
Nah, for sure.
Because Miles Davis got the group together.
Yeah.
And was jamming.
Nah, for real. For real.
That's just what
jamming for real.
So right now, would you say are you strictly independent, or are you looking to go to major? Well, what's your direction with that?
I'm not looking for nothing but what's for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm independent right now, you know, but if a major is for me or for me to stay independent, that's what I'm going with, Just going with the vibe, bro.
No, I agree because right now, like you said, your life pretty much brings people right for you.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence that you don't really have to struggle or like push the issue for anything.
Yeah.
You really get what you need. So that's my next question. So I see different things that you're doing. I see you evolving, and we've been talking about all these different things that come to you, which aren't a coincidence. So throughout everything, what would you say God has done for you, bro, in just where you're at right now? And what has everything that you've gone through and everything that you plan to do?
As far as the music or just like overall with life?
Overall with life. And music too.
I feel like he guided me back to Islam, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up Muslim all my life.
Yeah.
I was a kid, praying 5 times a day as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like I was really heavy into it, like reading the Quran and leading Jumas, calling the Adhan, everything.
Yeah.
I was ecstatic to be a part of it, you know what I mean? And then growing up in the streets and everything and fast forward, you know, it all led me back to Islam, you know what I mean? And that's when doors started opening up even for me in the music and, you know, being around the people that you see me around and stuff, you know what I mean? It's all by God, you know what I'm saying?
Right. How was this past Ramadan for you?
Oh, it was an ego trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was an ego trip. That was when I made that at like the end of Ramadan. I made that tape in like probably 3-4 days. Yeah, I made it probably in like 3 or 4 days.
Got
you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
It was done in like majority of it was done in like 2 days. You feel me? But I knew I needed to add things here and there. You feel me? So yeah, them last couple days was like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was definitely an ego trip. Like by the end of Ramadan, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm about to put out. I get it now. You feel me?
Yeah, man. You'll get lessons constantly. You'll get shit thrown in your face like, yo, do you see it? Do you see it? And then it'll smack you. Do you feel it?
Yeah, nah, for real. The test, man.
The test. Do you think you're passing them as of right now?
Yeah. I'm learning from them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I'm passing them. Hopefully I am. You know, God willing. But I'm learning from them for sure, and I'm growing from them. So I would assume that that's passing them. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. You're here. You know what I mean? You're shining. New projects coming out. Things are flowing for you. So obviously.
Yeah.
Some tests are being checked off.
Yeah. You know, I never really see it like, you know, how everybody else see it. You know? It's weird. So what you see, I don't see. You know what I mean? Because it's just my life or whatever, and what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I'm glad that I'm blessed and grateful that I get the reaction from people like you. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Out here, bro, like, you know, it's much appreciated for real.
Yeah, because when Mark sent me the the profile for, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've heard your music before.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I've heard your music when it was when you were doing stuff with BSF. So
okay.
I seen it, I was like, I'm glad we got someone from the West Coast representing us in that realm.
Nah, for sure.
Because it was needed. So that was my first time seeing you. So to see it now and to meet you, yeah, man.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, that shit, I've been doing this shit longer than that. Like, you know, before Benny, I was, you know, rapping with Game. You know,
I see you with Game. I see Game always showing love.
Yeah, I'm on his last 3 albums.
Yeah,
you know
I always see that.
On real, like, so Game really the one that put me in that space. You know what I'm saying? Took me on tour and all of that stuff. You feel me? So, yeah, shout out to the homie too.
Shouts out to Game. Shouts out to Game. Still showing love to this day.
Nah, for sure. Yeah. Always. That's
man. He got to take you to those tours when he goes to like Turkey, bro.
Oh yeah, nah. Like I said, I had to get some core shit straight. Like, so I ain't been able to move around that. But now I'm good. You feel me? Yeah, we passported up everything. I'm about to. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Travel the world, man.
Good. All in good timing. All in good timing.
For sure.
So what can we expect for the rest of 2025, man, 2026, 2027, if we're looking that far, and just with this new EP you got coming out, man, with Mike and Keys?
Man, the EP crazy. You feel me? You know, we got a whole album too called Draft Day. You know, set to release soon. But yeah, the EP crazy is basically like an introduction to that, like, you know, what we've been doing over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, man, it's just a blessing. You feel me? I don't know what to say. That shit it's good music, bro.
Yeah,
it's good music. They like real musicians and stuff too, and you know, it's a lot of musicians in and out of there. I'm meeting a lot of people through them too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a good space for me to be in.
Yeah. I mean, you're a musician yourself, man. You've been doing that since you're a kid.
Nah, for sure. That's why it's cool. You feel me? Seeing niggas like BJ, Chicago Kid, pull up and, you feel me?
Yeah, he makes good music.
Do
great
some shit.
Music.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so I just be sitting back, bro. Like, just
a sponge.
Yeah.
Observing,
bro. Learning from it all. Like, you know, trying to figure out what it is I'm here to learn in this experience now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of good industry experiences, you know what I mean? And been around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's good that it's still going up, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're a good person, man. Energy, like-minded energy will see that, man.
Nah, for sure.
Definitely,
Appreciate it.
definitely, yeah. And one thing I like to ask people for my show, if there's 3 things you can tell your younger self, what would you tell them?
Slow down. Have patience, nigga, and use the same energy you was using to plot and plan. You feel me? I basically did it though. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like the same shit. I literally like, you know, was going to jail a lot and shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I just told myself, like, bro, I'm finna use the same energy that I'm using to do all this dumb shit. If I'm gonna take a risk doing this, I'm gonna take a risk doing music. You feel me?
You're right.
Like, and I made that transition. Was like, yeah, I'm going in and I ain't looking back and shit.
Right.
I'm here now doing all the shit that I'm doing. You feel me? So I feel like I won already. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
cause
sir.
it could be a different story for me. You know?
It could have been.
Yeah.
Oh, man, bro, I really appreciate you, bro, for coming on.
Hey, man, appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yeah,
For
yo.
real.
Thank you, Mark, for bringing on this man to my show. I'm Nappy 2000. This is the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series. I just have my man OSBE Chill on the show. We'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bong Talk. You can either watch or stream this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And also, thank you to all the sponsors of the show.